Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I am so excited for today's video. I'm doing the book recommendation tag. I believe Steph Bower started this. I think the questions are so good. If you watch my videos, you will have inevitably heard of most of these books. I'm not going to go into too much detail about like the plot lines of the books, but I'm just gonna show you what I'd pick for that specific selection and maybe just like a brief little one-liner about it. Let's get into it. So Steph put a list in the description of her video when she did this, so I'm just gonna be reading off of that. A book that you tell people is your favorite. So if you know me, I always without a doubt say that Book Lovers is one of my favorite books. It was my favorite read of 2022. I just think the small town romance was so beautifully done. I literally felt like I was in that small town. I felt like I was right there with the characters. Everything was just so vivid in the descriptions and the characters just felt so real. I loved the banter. The banter was like some of the best banter that I've read. And yeah, I just absolutely love this book. Next is a book that is your guilty pleasure. I actually have two for this, and these just became guilty pleasures for me. First, I would choose the Magnolia Parks series. I haven't finished the rest of the books, and I have the second book coming in the mail. It hasn't arrived yet. But just based off of the first book, like, this is a guilty pleasure for me. I probably will want to come back to it all the time, reread it, reread the quotes. I've been like going back and reading the quotes, and I just finished reading it like last week. So this is definitely a huge guilty pleasure. I have so many piles of books on the floor next to me, so I have to like root through them to find what I'm looking for. But my next guilty pleasure is Icebreaker. These are both books that I just read this month, and I absolutely am in love with them. A book everyone loved but you didn't. For me, it's the perfect marriage. People are saying that they really love this book, but I was not feeling it. I don't know. I think I got to page 63. The characters were unlikable. I couldn't really get into the story. I didn't like the writing, but everybody loves this book. So maybe I'll have to try to pick it up this year again and see if I'm in like a better place to read it. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. But this was when I was reading like thrillers all month. So it could also just be that I read some really amazing thrillers that I thought were better than this, and so I couldn't get into it. For a book that I read the fastest, this is also probably the longest book. No, I don't think this is the longest book. So this is the book I read the fastest. A Court of Wings and Ruin. I think I literally read this in 2 days, like a little bit one day and then like finished it the next day. This book has, I'm getting all the feels just going through these pages, 703 pages, and I read it in 2 days. I was obsessed with this. This is part of the ACOTAR series. I think this is book 3. Yeah, I think this is book 3. And I absolutely devoured this book. A book that is becoming a movie / TV show. For that one, I picked It Ends With Us, and It Starts With Us is not becoming one. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do like a sequel, but this is just the series together. But yeah, It Ends With Us. This is a movie / TV series that is becoming a this is a book that is becoming a movie, and or is it becoming a TV series? I think it's becoming a movie. They've already casted Lily. She's gonna be played by Blake Lively. I absolutely love Blake Lively, although honestly, that's not who I really pictured in that role, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how she portrays Lily. Justin Baldoni, I think, is playing Ryle. I imagine Ryle to be Theo James. For a book I have reread the most, I don't actually have it with me on my person in physical form. I think these books are at my parents' house, but actually that would have to be Twilight. I have read Twilight so many times. I would finish and immediately start it again. I had every single book, every single movie. I was absolutely obsessed with Twilight. That is definitely the book to this day that I have reread the most. The Selection series was going to be a close second. The Selection series I actually read on my Kindle. Back in the day, I had a Kindle Fire in high school. I reread it all the time, and I actually still have it on my Kindle like account, but I don't have a Kindle anymore. The next one is a book you usually recommend when you are asked for a recommendation. So I don't want to do any repeats, but I would say Book Lovers. I recommend that a lot, but my actual choice for this is Love in Other Words. Really love this book, and I think if you're just getting into reading, it's like a really great book to start with. It has great pacing, the writing is really good, the storyline's very interesting, and I think it would definitely encourage you to keep reading. So this is another one that I highly recommend. A book that has your favorite characters. I have the first series with me, but I think this whole universe has my favorite characters. That would honestly be the Infernal Devices, or just the Shadowhunter world. Like Will is my favorite character. This is the series in the Shadowhunter world that I've read most recently, and I absolutely adored Will. He was so freaking funny. His banter was so good. When he sang the Demon Pox song, like, I lost it. I actually laughed out loud at that. For a book that I wish I could live in, I picked Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I just think that the vibes in this book are so immaculate. They are, you know, just living in Black luxury, and I love that for them. It's this really cute town. The houses are really nice. It's a really nice community. And yeah, I just got all the warm vibes from this book, so this would definitely be the book that I wish I could live in. A book that I thought I would hate but ended up loving, I would say Addicted to You. I thought I was going to hate it just because of the premise of the story, like with the addiction. I'd never read a story like that, and I've read a lot of books, but I just didn't know if I was gonna like it because it was just like the main focus. However, I absolutely loved this. I can't wait to get to the rest of the series and then to go on to the Calloway Sisters series. But yeah, I really loved this more than I thought that I would, and I love that for me. All right, so I know I said no repeats. Only one of these is a repeat, but for a book that made me cry, this series actually brought out so many emotions in me that I didn't even know existed inside of me. Just kidding, I don't even know what that means. These books made me cry, particularly 3 and 5. 3 and 4, 3 and 5, I don't know if the novella counts as like a book. Yeah, these two made me cry, and this whole series as a whole is just like, it made me so emotional. So I absolutely love this series. I'll never stop talking about this series. I don't care what anyone says. I love this series with all of my heart. It was so good, and I'm happy that I was like in the right place to read this, because some people say it depends on like if you're in the right frame of mind for them, and so glad that I was. And lastly, a book that I wish I could reread for the first time would have to be Harry Potter, the whole series. I was pretty late to the Harry Potter train. I don't think I read this until near the end of high school into college. Oh my god, I wish I could like have that feeling over again of reading the Harry Potter series. It was so magical, and I love. Those are all the questions I'm going to answer. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys will leave your answers below, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with me. It felt like suddenly our souls collided, hearts